On today's primetime local news, good deeds from the Lloydminster Pee Wee hockey team who are fundraising for mental health using video.
It obviously helps with the awareness and the stigma busting when a group of kids says what's wrong with learning more about mental health.
And Salvation Army wraps up for the year and looks ahead to 2020.
The Kettle campaign this year was very successful.
And in this week's Beyond the Boards, how the Bobcats spend their off time.
Even games of NHL or playing video games with new guys can always bond and create friendships, which is awesome.
Plus, venturing out onto the ice for sledding or ice fishing this winter, we've got the expert advice to keep you safe.
Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Despite a tough economy, the City of Lloydminster has continued to support its charities and nonprofit groups, as well as encouraging youth to get involved. Team 1 in the Lloydminster Pee Wee Hockey League is a particularly clear example. And as Josh Ryan reports, they are hoping that their efforts will result in some prize money for the Lloydminster Health Foundation.
Off-ice fun is a big part of youth athletics, but for the Pee Wee Gear Energy Blazers hockey team, it's been more than that this year.
We went across the town hanging up game plan posters.
The game plan program is in a trial run working with young athletes. It had this team compete in a nationwide event, the Good Deeds Cup, where they learn to promote local charities and support their community. The recipient of this advocacy is the Health Foundation.
It obviously helps with the awareness and the stigma busting when a group of kids says what's wrong with learning more about mental health.
Getting out into the community was a new experience for many of the players.
We went to Synergy Credit Union and we learned about mental health.
We got to go all around town and go to new places where we haven't been in Lloyd.
In their session about mental health, it covered anxiety, addiction, and more.
It was a great way for them to learn about addictions as well as mental health. I believe it truly did help our children understand the importance of it.
How effective it is and how much there is around on Lloyd and stuff.
The hope is that this will help these kids when they tackle adulthood.
Talking about it at such a young age, it's going to save them, a lifetime of suffering down the road, and especially as their minds change and the level of competition in sport changes as they get older.
Recognize the signs if somebody needs some extra assistance or is having anxiety.
And if they are fortunate enough to win the Good Deeds Cup, that would net the Health Foundation $100,000.
I think that having all that money would probably be better than just winning games because it helps the community.
This is our game plan!
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local News.
Well, with people starting to venture out onto the ice for sledding or ice fishing, the Lloydminster Rescue Squad is reminding people to be cautious before leaving the shore. Checking the thickness of the ice when heading out is the first step to make sure the ice will hold your weight.
It's not safe to go on the ice unless it's 3 to 4 inches. The recommended depth for ice is about 4 inches. So outside that, I would stay off the ice until that depth is reached. You would probably want to check it every 100 feet or so with professionally get someone to drill a hole, measure the depth of the ice.
Being prepared and having the right equipment in case the ice does break is also recommended.
Number 1 is wear a PFD or a personal flotation device. Number 2, you might want to take with you or have in your pocket some ice sticks. What they're called, ice sticks or ice picks. They just have a sharp edge so that if you do fall in, you can kind of pick your way out and pull your way out of the hole and then roll toward the shore again.
Unless it has been tested, the Lloyd Rescue Squad says nobody should be on the ice, even if it is to follow an object or your pet. Well, with the holiday season now officially behind us, that means the Salvation Army's Christmas Kettle campaign has come to an end, with this year beginning another success. This year, the Salvation Army set a new goal for the amount of money raised with the kettles, and with the support of the many volunteers they had this year, that they were able to reach.
The Kettle campaign this year was very successful. We set a goal of $57,000, but as of today, the end of the year, we raised over $83,000, and that's just with the Kettle campaign. We're also looking at walk-in donations and also the mail-in donations, which right now we're looking at about 150,000 to date with kettles.
With the amount of support they receive from the community, one of the goals they have for 2020 has to do with helping even more within the border city.
One of the things that we're hoping to be able to do is to shorten the wait time on appointments that people come to us looking for help. We're hoping that we're going to be able to cut down on the time that they have to wait to come and see us. When people call us, they're in need, so we want to be able to cut down on when they call and when they're able to come in.
Some of the money they've raised will be going towards their food hampers and other costs within the Salvation Army. Here's our Abby St. John with your weather.
Thanks, Judy. Well, unfortunately, we are under a snowfall warning, as is a lot of Alberta and some parts of Saskatchewan, mainly the Battlefords area, Maidstone, Unity, and those regions. So definitely keep caution about that, as we're expected to get about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. Minus 19 currently here in Lloydminster, fairly cloudy skies and winds coming in from the east-southeast at 17 kilometers per hour, making it feel closer to minus 28 with that wind chill. Across Alberta, minus 20 in Cold Lake, minus 14 in Athabasca, minus 15 in Whitecourt, minus 8 in Edmonton and Jasper, minus 9 in Rocky Mount House, minus 11 in Edson, and minus 10 out in Red Deer. And on the Saskatchewan side, minus 25 in Meadow Lake, minus 27 in Melfort, minus 23 in Saskatoon, and minus 24 in Prince Albert and in North Battleford. And overnight in North Battleford, they will be at minus 22 overnight with heavier cloud coverage than they're experiencing now. And the wind will be coming in from the east-southeast at 26 kilometers per hour, which will remain that speed tomorrow, but coming in from the east with a daytime high of minus 15 and a chance of snowfall from overnight tonight. They are in that snowfall warning. In Cold Lake overnight, the temperature will drop to minus 22 and that wind will be at 13 kilometers per hour coming from the east with a mainly cloudy night. And then tomorrow they also have a chance of snowfall overnight and into tomorrow with the temperature at minus 16 for the daytime high, and the wind will be at 15 kilometers per hour coming from the east and northeast. Here in Lloydminster, we are under that snowfall warning as well with the temperature at minus 16 overnight, and the wind will be between 25 to 30 kilometers per hour coming from the southeast. And then tomorrow will be coming in from the east at 20 to 25 kilometers per hour with a daytime high of minus 15 and a 74% chance of some snowfall from overnight. And the wind chill will make it feel closer to minus 30. And then on Thursday, it'll be a high of minus 20, which will feel closer to minus 36 with that wind chill and a low of minus 23. And then on Friday, will be a high of minus 21, which will feel closer to minus 33 and a low of minus 32. That's a look at your 3-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
And now in sports, the Bobcat season is now past the halfway point. Players on the team have played 38 games and practiced most of other days. Our Evan Kenny shows one way the boys spend their off time in this week's Beyond the Boards.
You may recognize their skills on the ice, but you may not know about some of their skills off the ice.
Oh, you're running my show right now, actually.
Even games of NHL or playing video games with new guys can always bond and create friendships, which is awesome. And
16 to 20-year-olds all over use video games to take breaks and settle down. The Bobcats players are no exception.
I'm still going to school. I'm upgrading a couple classes, so I still have that and homework to do, but when I can, I play NHL. So
we decided to place them head-to-head and see who was the best at their off-ice activities. The first was Nolan Coventry and Josh Diaz.
Just blow me up like that. That would never happen. You're flat-footed. This game's a joke. If I don't score here, I want a rematch. These goalies suck. Come on. If I let that in, Nigel would never play me ever again.
The two played a tight game, but Diaz wasn't impressed with the game's goaltending.
Pass back at the point. There's the go-ahead goal, and we have a new game. Taking the lead now.
Goalies don't know how to stop the puck, so
Coventry took that game and was on to the finals. In the other matchup, assistant captains Gunnar Kinneberg and Chance Adrian faced off.
oh no.
Spam R1 a little bit more.
Dude, that was a good stick. Hinge, bang. Oh, look at that.
Although Kinneberg had his moments, Adrian and the Penguins made it to the finals.
Well, came on, got picked up from dinner. I was dialed in mentally, physically, and I think it showed out here today. Just played my game and good things happen.
The finals was tight, up until the end.
Absolutely, yeah, fight.
Until Chance Adrian ran away with the W.
Yeah, you know, you gotta have confidence, especially in a game like this. You gotta have confidence, and I had a lot of that tonight.
Maybe Chance Adrian can continue his winning on the ice. The Bobcats' next game is on Friday when they take on the Calgary Canucks. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
Beyond the Boards is brought to you by City Center Auto Body. For over 35 years, City Center Auto Body has been your go-to auto body shop.
Well, it's looking pretty cold out there. Here's our Abby St. John with a look at your weather.
Thanks, Judy. Taking a look at our satellite radar, at the Edmonton area and Vegreville, Marwayne, and the Vermilion up until Lloydminster are still under that snowfall warning. Most of Alberta is more up north, and then out to the west is under that snowfall warning. We're predicted to get about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow with that warning in that area. And again, on the Saskatchewan side, the Battleford areas, Maidstone, Prince Albert also under that snowfall warning. So definitely be cautious about that as there is that predicted chance of getting those 10 to 15, maybe even 20 centimeter snowfall. Current temperatures -19 here still in Lloydminster, -24 in North Battleford, Pearslin and St. Walburg, -16 in Macklin, -21 in Maidstone, -25 in Meadow Lake, -28 in Green Lake, and -27 out in Isle Cross. And on the Alberta side, -15 in Provost, -16 in Wainwright, -17 in Lac La Biche and Vermilion, -18 in Marwayne and St. Paul, -20 in Bonnyville and Cold Lake, -14 in Vegreville, and -8 out in Edmonton. And tomorrow, a daytime high here in Lloydminster of -18, -16 in Marwayne, Bonnyville, and Cold Lake, -15 in Vermilion and Vegreville and up in Lac La Biche, -14 in Wainwright and Edmonton, and -12 down in Provost. And on the Saskatchewan side, -19 up in Isle Cross, -16 in Green Lake, Meadow Lake, and Pearslin, -17 in St. Walburg, -15 in Maidstone and North Battleford, and -10 in Macklin. And overnight across the region, as we're still under that snowfall warning in the majority of the region, Murnum expected to have some snowfall tonight, and then the rest of the region, fairly cloudy skies will be the trend for most of the Alberta and Saskatchewan regions, with temperatures ranging between -26 and -15. Your school day forecast for tomorrow at 8 a.m. Will be around -19, and that chance of snowfall from overnight leading into tomorrow morning. And then by the time recess rolls around, it'll be -16, which will remain that way up until school's out, which should be around -17, and that chance of snowfall, about a 74% chance of snowfall at that time, and a low of -20. And then on Thursday, it will be a high of -20 and a low of -23. On Friday, a high of -21 and a low of -32. To start your weekend off on Saturday, there's a 60% chance of some snowfall with a high of -20 and a low of -23. And then on Sunday, it'll be a high of -24 and a low of -26. On Monday, to start your week off, we'll get that chance of sun with a high of -27 and a low of -31. And then on Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -28 and a low of -33. That is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news in the question of the day coming up after the break.
know, the talk has been big about Tim Hortons and their tidbits, and they just announced that the new breakfast cereal is on now, and it's because of they're using their tidbits to make the cereal. I don't know what I think about that. I think I'm going to try it, but I don't know. It's been since 1979 or something like that that they've had this in Canada, and all of a sudden they're changing it. So I don't know. I might try it. It might be different.
I probably won't. I'm not a cereal person,
No.
and it just sounds incredibly sweet and not appealing at all, whatsoever. A lot of the comments that we got were very mixed. Some people saying that they've already tried it and it was really good.
Yeah.
Some people saying there's no way that they will try it. Tim Hortons is going, has been going downhill and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely mixed.
Mixed, I know. I know that Tim Hortons had done this with coffee for people, for coffee on the go, so they made a coffee bar.
Yeah.
I don't know how big that was in 2018. I never heard about it after.
I didn't even know that was a thing. So clearly,
I'm a coffee drinker, so I know
clearly
those
it
things.
wasn't super popular.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're trying new things, and it's not really owned by a Canadian company anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just lost.
Well, maybe that's
kind
what
of
it
what
is.
it was.
Yeah.
And I think that's really sad.
Yeah, and on that note, we're going to pets right now. Thanks for sending your pet pics for a chance to win a gift card from the Pet Pad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
I'm back here with Becca from the SPCA, and she's brought in two adorable puppies, Poinsettia and Garland, and they're the last of the litter.
Yes,
So tell me just a little bit about them.
Yeah, so they came in like just before Christmas, and then so they had a few siblings that all went right after their spay-neuter surgeries, and these little two females are the last ones left.
So tell me just a little bit about their personality. From what I have witnessed, they're very gentle, they're very loving, and they just want to be lap dogs, basically.
Yes, I think that they very much enjoy their human companionship, and they aren't very good on leashes yet. I found that out today. But yeah, I mean, other than that, they're curious puppies, obviously you can see, and then they just really love playing, obviously, and they really like people.
And just by the look at them, they are going to be quite big, when they grow up. So what would you recommend for, I guess, house settings, or even if they have children? Like, will they be fine around young children, or are they more equipped for other families?
Yeah, I think they'll be good in any home. Like, obviously, any puppy's gonna chew, so I mean, you have to be careful with the nipping and things like that. I mean, they don't know not to do that yet, so you just have to teach them not to do that. But they're overall happy puppies, so that they would be good in any home.
So tell me a little bit about the numbers you have dog-wise to start out at the SPCA.
It's good. It definitely lightened up a bit over the holidays there, and so that was really nice. We just have these two puppies left, one left of the little St. Bernard crew that we had, and we have 3 little shepherd puppies that are up for viewing now as well too. So I mean, we still have quite a few puppies, but I mean, our adult dogs are lower as well too. So yeah, it's definitely lighter than it was before Christmas.
And still full on cats.
Yes, yeah. Like we're not up to the brim or anything like that, but we are able to call a little bit off of our waiting list again. But yeah, we're still pretty full.
And we were talking about your adoption numbers a little bit off camera. So tell me just a little bit, because the number's pretty high, and it's pretty nice to see that.
Yes, yeah, we did 607 adoptions. So that's averaging a little bit over 400 cat and kitten adoptions. I think kittens alone was 250 kittens were adopted last year. And the rest were adults. And then the dogs, I think we did just over 150 dog adoptions as well too. So that a dog and puppy, and then the rest were just rabbits and small little animals. But so yeah, we did 607, so it was 2 less than last year. And so I mean, we're happy with our numbers too, kind of thing. Yes.
And so in the next couple of months, or what can people expect the SPCA? Is there any events coming up, or will you be at any events that are coming up? Anything like that?
Well, we're going to have a couple of our adoption events again over at Pet Value and PetSmart. So that'll be in February. And right now it's tax season, so we're going to be sending out all of our tax receipts and things like that. So we're going to be a little bit busy with that as well too. But yes, we are hoping this year to be putting on more events and attending more events as well.
And seeing as you had a great success with the the Clara shelters and having those kind of discounts, do you think that you'd do a lot more this year, seeing as how successful it was?
For the most part, we mostly just try to keep it to when we need to do it, kind of thing. If we're really full and we just can't take anything else in, that's when we start looking at doing those adoption events. Because in the end, we are losing money if we are doing the events. But obviously the upside is they are still finding those homes. But yeah, so we generally do try and keep it to when we need to do it. Kind of like to theme it a little bit, around fall feline frenzy and clear our shelters and the Christmas one. But it really just depends on our number. So even if Easter we come around and we don't have that many cats, we probably wouldn't do one kind of thing. But yeah, if it is something that's a necessity, then we definitely look at it.
And really quickly, have you seen any, increase in strays coming in, or is that number kind of steady at the moment?
We get calls all the time, and it is one of those unfortunate parts about winter, and especially when we don't have the room. Obviously, that's not something we ever want, is to leave an animal out in the cold. With our cats, especially, the cats is the biggest one. Dogs, it always seems we have a space for the dogs, right? But the cats, it's one of those unfortunate ones. And with the weather getting colder, we do anticipate a few more phone calls, so we are hoping to be able to fit a lot of those animals in.
All right, well, thank you so much for bringing in Poinsettia and Garland, and hopefully they'll be able to find their homes very soon.
We hope so too.
Manage your waste and recyclables with Quick Pick Waste Disposal. 100% locally owned and proud to serve and support the communities we call home. Quick Pick, the convenient solution to avoid pollution.
I'm pleased to be joined today on Primetime Local News, making her first appearance with us, Lauren Rodick-Eberly. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me on.
And now where are you today? Are you in Alberta or are you in New York?
I'm in New York.
Well, it sounds like that would be an awesome place to be.
Yeah, it's nice to get the best of both worlds, get to Alberta part-time and then New York part-time.
Well, and let's just talk a little bit about yourself and why it is that you are in New York at this moment.
Yeah, so my husband works here. He plays hockey for the New York Islanders. So we are situated on Long Island right now. But I work in Calgary, Alberta, and that's where our main home is. So I go back and forth for work.
Well, and congratulations to the two of you. You and Jordan expecting your first child. That's awesome.
We're less than 9 weeks till the due date, so it's getting real.
Well, I hope that all goes well, and we thank you for joining us, like I said, Lauren, and the reason we brought you on here actually is to talk about, well, you have so many things on the go, but one of your passions is cooking, and you have a number of cookbooks. I have one here that has some amazing recipes, and we've tried, I think, just about all of them, with the square pan, of course, but
yes.
Let's talk about how you got into cooking and recipes and then taking the step to the cookbooks.
Yeah, of course. So I've loved cooking and baking ever since I was a kid, with my mom, with my friends, with everyone. But it was when I first moved out on my own that I really started to get into it. And even though I like being in the kitchen, just like anyone, I want quick, easy, simple recipes that can get my family through the week. So I started kind of creating my own recipes and wanted to make my cookbook just for myself. And then through mostly Instagram and local support, I just got other people on board and they wanted in on the cookbook. So it's been such a blessing. But since then, I've written 2 cookbooks and a mini ebook, and they're all for the brownie pan. So now I feel like I maybe need to do one more paper book to make it a trilogy.
So how difficult was it, Lauren, to get all this together? Because it is an effort, and even, getting the message out, but deciding what to put in the book and how the format was going to be. Is that something that you did, basically, you kind of took the charge, or were you asking for advice from a whole lot of people?
Absolutely. I have so much respect for everyone that writes cookbooks now because it would take a team. So I took my time doing them for sure. I just started creating the recipes and testing them. And then I was grateful to have so many other people that helped test the recipes for me because it can be different temperatures and time based on location and different houses and all that kind of thing. So got that going. And then over time, I've learned how to do the photography for it and then the actual publishing. So I self-published both my books and they're on my website now.
And how did you decide to go with, like, for everything square? Are all the cookbooks based on using the square pan?
They are. I'm really obsessed with the brownie pan. So I'm a senior consultant for Pampered Chef cookware as well. And so I sell the brownie pan, but I just got into it myself because it's so great for food prep or for cooking for multiple people. So they're all kind of based on that pan, and it really is best if you have the pan as well. But a lot of the recipes you could create in a casserole dish or a muffin tin or something like that if you wanted. It might just change the timing a little bit.
And because you're not busy enough, Lauren, I see that you're also doing blogging when you can as well. Tell me about that.
Yes, yeah. So I have my own website now. It's laurenrudickeverly.com. And I run a music studio, so you can find out about my music studio. And you can buy the cookbooks through there. You can see my Pampered Chef stuff. But I started blogging weekly as well. So I write about everything from meditation to wellness to travel guides and kind of everything in between. So it's been really fun to kind of get my writing passion out there as well.
So how do you find time for all this? You've got the cookbooks, you've got the cooking, the recipes, the blog. You're about to have a baby. You are doing music lessons, even online for some of your students. What's going to happen when baby comes? Are you going to slow down a little bit?
That's a good question. Most people have been telling me that I need to slow down. So I put a cap on my students this year, which I normally kind of try and push it a little farther, but I have a wait list going for anyone beyond a certain number right now so that I can hopefully continue all my teaching once baby comes, hopefully with lots of support from my family for babysitting. But yeah, definitely teaching has quieted down a little bit for that reason, but I'm hoping to still be able to fit it all in. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Okay, well, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And one more time, if people want to order the cookbooks and take a look at some of the other things that you're doing, what is the best way to do that?
The best way to do it is through my website, so laurenrudickeverly.com. The spelling's kind of hard, but it's RODEYCHEBERLE. And then also, that's my Instagram handle as well, laurenrudickeverly.com, so anyone can send me questions via Instagram.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak to us today. Good luck with everything that you have going on, and hopefully we can talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much. It was nice to chat.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.